Hey guys, Kev here, and let's talk about this knife a little bit. So this is the Kansept Knives Shard, and this is a lefty version of the Shard. So you could say it's a left-handed Shard. I wanted to make a poop joke, I just couldn't. My poop joke is when I unboxed this last night on the Edge, I shat on a shard. You know what I'm saying? I talked shit on it, so I shat on a shard. Comes in the standard Kansept box, Kim Ning design, which I'm going to get to that. There's a knife that looks a lot like it that I have right here. Here's some information if you want. Comes in your normal shit, right? They somehow changed the tolerance so these don't squeak anymore. Everybody loved the squeak. Real quick, comparison-wise, I just think it looks a lot like this WE Knives Arsenal I just got in on loan from the pass-around group. Look at that. Am I crazy? I just think the overall design, the way there's a fuller and a flipper tab, yet the fullers are hard to access. Not impossible, but hard to access. I don't know. I just think it's a similar looking knife. So there's a size comparison for you. We can check out some other stuff. I have the Mallory Forest right here. Should be similar in size, 3.5 inches. Yep. Also a similar looking knife. I didn't realize that. I have the ProTech Knives Malibu. You guys know I love these reverse Tanto sheep's foot blades. I'm not that big of a fan of this one. I just think overall it kind of looks a little bit ugly as hell. But there's a couple of comparisons for you. The blade's listed at 3.48. And I'm guessing overall it's around 7 3/4. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not a specs guy. So this is left-handed, obviously. You guys know I have some lefty knives. I really only have two, I guess. No, three. I have the Liang Ma Cuff version 2, the Liang Ma Field Duty EDC, and I have the Vero Engineering Axon, all flickable, and we can add that one to the list right there. So there you go. They're all in the same kind of size range, 3.5 inches. This one's more like 3.25. Left-handed knives with slots, sheep's foot blades. That one's a drop point. But this one I'm not as big of a fan of. So I absolutely love this knife. Absolutely love this knife. Absolutely love this knife. I love that these companies are making left-handed knives. It's just really important as a lefty, I think. So I want to give Kansept credit, right? Now, this knife I got through the EDC for Lefties group on Facebook. And basically, every year, Kansept contacts the admins there. I believe Charles Richards. Charlie is the guy that I talk to most in that group. He's one of the moderators or admins or owners. I don't know how that works. And he's on Instagram as Charlie the Lefty. So go give him a follow, guys. And if you're left-handed, go join the Facebook group. It's an awesome group of lefties, and it's just cool to have a little bit of a space where us lefties can talk about how knives affect us and, you know, what knives we're looking forward to, and try to push forward full left-handed knives like this, right? You guys know I love right-handed knives, so it's not like make or break for me, but I like to see left-handed knives. So on one hand, I want to give Kansept huge credit for doing these. Like they did the Warrior last year, and this year it's the Shard. On the other hand, we really need to start picking better models, you know? And it turns out that that's really our fault in that group. So they put out polls in the middle of last year about what knives that we should have full lefties of. So they sent a link to the full catalog of Kansept knives from 2021, and we were allowed to pick which one and vote for which one we wanted to be the left-handed version. Now, I personally voted for the Pelican EDC, hands down the best Kansept that's ever been made. So I voted for that, right? But apparently enough people, and that's the thing, I don't know how that went. I don't know if it was like, 20 votes, and 5 of them were for the shard, and that's why it won. You know what I mean? I don't know the numbers there. It's a decent-sized group. It's just I don't know how many people participated in that and how that all went down. And I think we need to take the decision out of the group's hands, because 2 years in a row now they've chosen just not great knives. Like, everybody, I mean, there are a lot of people that like the shard. I am not one of them. Obviously, the Pelican EDC would have been a fantastic choice for a left-handed knife. There's other models that, the Convict. There's other ones that I would have put way ahead of the shard, even the Gremlin, like that little flipper, just something. I don't know. This thing just doesn't look satisfying to me or appealing to me. But that's subjective, I guess, so that's on me. All right, so I just wanted to say that. Go check out the group. The group chose this. So if you don't like it like me, there's no complaining. Like, I'm not sitting here complaining, like, whatever. I'm complaining about the knife and giving my overview or whatever, but the group chose. Like, that was us. So we need to do a better job is what I'm saying. Or take it out of, if Charles is listening, or Tony, the guys who run the group, if you're listening and you care what I think, right? Obviously, that's part of this. Take it out of their hands, guys. Like, most people don't know what the hell they want or what would be best or whatever. You gotta just give it to them, right? You gotta make it and then show them, and they're like, oh yeah, I'll buy that. If the Lefty Pelican EDC would have dropped, it would have sold way more than this. Because what ended up happening was there was a post where they were trying to sell these in the group, because there was however many people. It was a good number of people who said they would buy one. And then all of a sudden they're dropped and it's $200 and nobody is paying. Nobody's getting one, right? I did. I paid right away because I want to support this. This could be the worst design in the world, which to me, it's not that bad. But, like, I would have bought it anyway because it's left-handed and they made it for the group, and I want to support that. I just think we need to make better choices next time, if that makes sense. So I'll shut up about that. I am going to sell this basically immediately. I think I already have a guy lined up for it. So as we speak, he just messaged me. I'm seeing the notification right now. Because before I hit record, I saw his comment that said, if they're still available, I'll take one. So I messaged him and said, I'll sell it to you for $190. I paid $199. It's brand new. I got it last night. So I never charge, more than I paid, and I never really charge as much as I paid. It's just kind of how I am. But it has grown on me since last night on the live stream. I was really shitting on the detent, and you could see why. It has this huge pecker, yet, you can easily fail this thing. It's not like I'm just pussyfooting it. Yeah, I am a little bit, but, I can pull it, and it's, I can flick it and it'll go, but, like, I want a clean deployment. This thing has a freaking button lock, and it doesn't have that problem. Like, come on, Kansept. You can't have a pecker and then have a weakish detent. And now I know why they did it. And I think this is probably a consistent detent, and most of them are probably like this, because you can give it a good push button and it'll shoot out, or a light switch, it'll shoot out. It's fine, right? You can get used to it. I personally just don't like that. I don't like knowing in the back of my mind that the detent's weak. I know it's stupid, but it's just how I am. Now, I think they did it because of the flick. So do you see this fuller? A lot of people complain, or this hole, people complain that you can't reverse flick this knife. And when I first took it out of the box, I was trying so hard to dig in there and flick it and just couldn't get it. And what you got to realize about the shard is it's all about this right here, this lip right down here. It gives you just enough access to get your finger in down under that lip, and then you can get it every time. And I think that's why they put the detent the way they did, because people want to reverse flick it, right? And it is pretty satisfying to reverse flick. I don't know about a thumb flick. I could probably roll it out. But I'm not going to be able to flick it out, I don't think. I mean, that took a lot of work. But the reverse flick, once you realize it's that spot, every time. Reminds me of my Craig Brown knives Cortex here. See the slot? I don't know, it just gives me that sort of... And on this one, you got to get it at the top. And it fires every time. So it does work, and the flipper does work just a little bit lighter than I'd want, right? Again, I think 89, 90% of people are going to be fine with the way it is. It is an S35. I do wish we would have got 20 CV for that $200 price mark, but I like S35, honestly. There's your model number. Kansept, terrible logo. And on this side, you have Shard. It's so funny they called it that. It has a belt satin machine grind. It's that kind of like high gloss one. Sort of like what Kanwu does. It's not my favorite finish on a, or satin finish on a knife. But I do like it better than a lot of finishes, you know what I mean? But it's not like a Riot. Just really crisp and clean lines on there. In person, you can tell a lot better. But it is good, right? So you have that satin. We can cut some stuff. I've been told by somebody that cutting paper doesn't mean anything about the geometry or the blade or anything. And guys, you shouldn't be coming to me for cutting information. You guys know that, right? So to whoever that was, I just do it to see if it's sharp. It really is all the reason I do it for. Nobody listens to me when it comes to cutting performance. Go watch somebody else for that. Now, this is the best part of this knife, is this Jungleware fat carbon inlay. I don't know if the group chose the color, but again, it's a miss. I really would have preferred an Arctic fat carbon like this color, or a white storm like this color, or a purple haze like this color. Like, all of those are better. Mars Valley, like, just the green is okay. It's just not, I don't know, it doesn't excite me as much as all the other fat carbons, really. Now, the inlay work. This is where I gotta give Kansept credit. I mean, it is very hard to feel the transition around here. They did a great job around the pivot. I can feel it a little bit here, but I think that has more to do with the texture of the fat carbon at that area, if that makes sense. It's not the transition. And then again, right around here, I can feel it as well. I can catch my nail a little bit. See? But down here, it's flush. All the way up here, it's flush. The pivot, around the pivot, is absolutely perfect. They did a great job on this inlay. I think it does look good. It's different the way they did it. So you got to give them credit there. The closing action, very smooth. This is out of the box. I mean, we're talking, you know, half a day of a little bit of fidgeting. You can get it to drop pretty much all the way to your nail, and then shake, shake down. Centering, dead nuts. I did not take this apart. Clip mounts from this side. The clip is a little tight. Like, the tension's good, and it is a little pokey right here. But in pocket, it was a little bit of a, you know, I had to shove it a little bit to pop it in. I do think the pants I was wearing weren't really set up for, they're a little bit thicker than normal. So, you know, overall, I don't think it's a terrible knife. I think it's better than I made it seem. The edge they put on it is really good. I mean, it's literally just the factory edge you're looking at there, so do with that what you will. Here's the lock side, by the way. It's just kind of plain. Definitely gives the knife a little pizzazz, that inlay. That's for sure. Yeah, what else do I have to say about it? I mean, I really don't have much else to say about it. It's just, you know, it's another knife from Kansept. They just aren't my favorite company, guys. You guys know I kind of hate them. And it's just from the beginning of their inception and the way they just communicated with me when I had an issue and when I reached out about the reviews I was doing, and they left a bad taste in my mouth almost immediately, and it just never has cleared up. And their knives just don't speak to me, and they have these variances in their fit and finish and everything, and I know a lot of companies do, but some do it much better than others. And Kansept is one of those where the detents are just wildly different, and tend to be too light, honestly. My buddy Joe has 2 of these. Well, actually, his son has one and he has one. And his son's, you can just, and it'll come right out, right? That one has like a Damascus inlay or something. And then when you close it, it'll just guillotine shut because there's no detent, right? Literally no detent. Like, but luckily you have this giant flipper tab so you can get enough momentum to flick it, right? And then Joe's is actually like a stronger detent. It has a great pop and click to it, which makes it harder to reverse flick, right? Because the detent's a little stronger. And then this one's like in the middle. Not in a good way. You know, usually you think in the middle is better, but I would much prefer if they were all closer to the way Joe's is, because it's primarily a flipper. This, you know, this is a, you know, maybe you flick it every once in a while thing. It's not a fun reverse flick because you're going to miss it occasionally. You see what I mean? Right-handed, you can handle and deploy and do all the things you want to do with it. So there you go. That's the Kansept Lefty Shard. I think my sort of message here, if anybody's still watching, is I love that companies are doing Lefty knives, right? But we need to pick better fucking models. Like, this is, like, you're going to do one knife a year as a Lefty? Pick a banger, right? Like, don't pick a shard, literally, turd. Pick a banger. Pick the Pelican EDC, man. I would have even loved the little Goblin. I would have loved that. Like Leon Ma is taking bangers and turning them into Lefty knives, right? Sorry, my finger slipped there. It just makes it where, like, not only am I getting a Lefty knife, I'm getting an awesome knife that is now left-handed. The Axon. Love that knife, and the fact that it's left-handed now is so awesome. This is like, you know, you just be grateful you have a Lefty knife, you fuckers. That's how this feels, you know. And again, it's our fault, so I'm not blaming Kansept for the choice of model here. But it's like, just take what you can get because, you know, it's a Lefty. And I feel like a lot of Lefties have these shitty knives like the Kaiser Megatherium and whatever. They have them because they're left-handed. And, like, that's all they can get, you know? If we could just get cool knives in Lefty, like, the world would be a much better place, in my opinion. So, anyway, that's it, guys. I know that's a bit of a ramble and everything. I just wanted to touch base on this because it is really cool that Kansept does it. I don't want to throw shade at them for that. Like, I really appreciate them doing the left-handed knives. I just, you know, the group needs to do a better job picking them going forward. Like, just let me pick. I'm just kidding, but seriously, let me pick. I don't know, and I hope they sell, because if they don't sell these, they're not going to want to do one next year. You know what I mean? And then we won't have the chance to maybe pick a good one. So if you're left-handed, I implore you to just buy one of these. You know, if you have the extra money, just buy it so that they make another one. But so far, the Warrior and the Shard, I am really disappointed in the models that have been chosen to do the Lefty versions of. Maybe I don't understand what's going on in the group and why people are choosing these. I think it's just that there's too many models, and then like 5 votes for one knife, you know, wins the, you know, like we need to narrow it down to like 3 or 4 good models and then let people choose, because then you can't go wrong, you know. But letting them pick out of any model just makes it really difficult, I think. That's my theory. I don't know. That's all I can think of. But anyway, that's the left-handed Kansept knives, Shard. Overall, is it a bad knife? No. Is it, a fantastic knife? No. But it's a serviceable knife. It's a good knife. It'll cut things well. It has a good point. I mean, the blade or the tip is down low because it's a reverse Tanto sheep's foot. So you can get to EDC things, in my opinion, very easily. The detent is serviceable on this one. You can have fun flicking this thing. It's obviously lighter than I would want it, but it is a solid offering. So if you're left-handed, check it out. They are on Blade HQ as of this filming on the 13th of February. They're going for $234 on the Blade HQ website. So if you want one, go pick one up there. Link is down below. Link to the EDC for Lefty's group is down below. Big shout out to Charles and Tony. If you're a lefty and you haven't joined the group, go check it out on Facebook. Let them know I sent you. And let's get some more lefties out there. Let's get some more badass knives in left-handed configuration, because I would love to next year be sitting here with another Kansept and it be a freaking banger. That would be a dream come true. So I love you guys. Let me know what you think down in the comments about the knife, about my opinions, how stupid I am, all that stuff. I love you guys so much. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will catch you later.